Welcome into Steelers Talk. I am your host, Jack Sperry, and today we're going to be covering the latest news and rumors surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we've got a lot to talk about on today's show. First, we're going to talk about the latest trade rumors surrounding superstar wide receiver Justin Jefferson. Could he be coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers? I'm going to let you know here in about 30 seconds from now. Also, should the Steelers bring back Cam Sutton? He has officially been released by the Detroit Lions. He's had some legal issues here, but should the Steelers consider bringing him back on the cheap? And then also, finally, we'll go over a report here that says that the Pittsburgh Steelers are not considering drafting a center in round 1. Rather, they want to take one in round 2 or 3. But before we get into today's news and rumors action, producer Coop feels pretty good about himself.
Go, Mavs. Let's go, Mavs.
So for those of you that don't know, Coop is our channel manager for Mavericks Today, and they just broke their all-time likes record on a single video, over 1,200 likes. And that's good for you, Coop. We're happy for you, but you took things a little bit too far today when you said that there's no way the Steelers fans can top this. I mean,
I don't believe in them.
We've topped it multiple times before. We're going to do it again. I don't know why you're challenging Steelers Nation right now. You know this. All right, whatever, Coop. Just do me a favor right now. Click that thumbs up icon and shut Coop up for the day. All right, now let's get into the top story today, which is that Antonio Brown's quote-unquote media company, ESPN, says that the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings are working on a trade for superstar wide receiver Justin Jefferson. Now, here is the post on Twitter that AB put out a couple weeks back. He says, breaking news, Steelers and Vikings are still working on a Justin Jefferson trade. Both sides are working to get it done. Now, you might be saying, Jack, why are we talking about ESPN here on Steelers Talk? Well, it's because he's been getting some stuff right here, man. So this was back on March 17th. You can see the date right down there in the bottom of the picture right there. March 17th. He said Stefon Diggs was going to be a Houston Texan. Now he officially is. So did he know something? Does he have connections in the league? It is certainly possible. And then also remember, he broke the Russell Wilson news 2 days before Adam Schefter did, and even made Adam Schefter the cracker of the day on his Twitter account because he didn't give him credit. All right, so you look at this. Russell Wilson has agreed to 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So listen, man, I'm not here to say that ESPN is a bona fide media source that you should trust 100% with impunity. All right, but nailing the Diggs thing and then nailing the Russell Wilson news, lends a little bit of credence here, and it certainly gives this rumor with Justin Jefferson to the Pittsburgh Steelers a little bit of life. And let's face it, man, AB's gotten some stuff right here. Let's give the guy a little bit of credit, all right, because maybe he has some connections. Maybe he does know some things that are going around in the National Football League. However, all right, and take all that with a grain of salt, because I just don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers making this kind of huge move for a bona fide superstar wide receiver like Justin Jefferson, especially when he's looking for a record-breaking contract on his next deal. He wants to make upwards of $35 million per season. And the only question that I have is, how are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to pay that? I mean, right now, it seems like the choice would be, all right, are we going to bring in Justin Jefferson and pay him what he wants, or are we going to sign Russell Wilson or Justin Fields to a long-term extension? So it's like, where do you want that money to go? Because you already have the most expensive defense in the National Football League. You have a quarterback on a 1-year deal right now that might want another big deal at the end of the offseason or at the end of the 2024 season. So it's like, where do you want the funds to go? Do you want to maybe get Justin Jefferson, pay him his money, and then pay Justin Fields at a lower rate to be your starting quarterback? Or do you want to kind of see how things go with Russell Wilson? And if this team succeeds with him under center, would you rather pay this $35 million per season to him as opposed to a Justin Jefferson? That's the big question I think the Steelers are going to have to raise to themselves. And honestly, I think they'd rather go with the quarterback. But here is a potential trade idea that I collaborated with our Vikings host here at Chat Sports, Patrick Seatman. He thinks that Justin Jefferson is worth 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick, all right? So you'd give up your first-rounder this year, pick number 20, your first-round pick next year as well, and then your first third-round pick this year, number 84. And this is probably what it would take to get Justin Jefferson in the black and gold. So let me know down there in the comments section for today's pinned comment. If you're GM Omar Khan, are you accepting this trade offer? Type A if you would accept it and bring Justin Jefferson to the Steel City, or type D for decline and you'd rather save the money for something else. Again, this is the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question with an A or a D. So now let's shift to Cam Sutton here, because there is a contingent of Steelers fans on Steelers Twitter that are like, you know what? Cam Sutton was pretty darn good here in Pittsburgh, and now he's a free agent, and probably a very cheap free agent at that because of the recent legal issues that he has now currently been placed in. So the big question is, should the Steelers bring back Cam Sutton to be their next slot corner on the cheap? So you look at kind of what's been going on here. So Cam has been, or was a Steeler from 2017 to 2022, had a really good season in 2022 that landed him a really nice deal with the Detroit Lions last offseason, okay? And then this offseason, he kind of went out and screwed all that, but because he apparently, reportedly, beat up his girlfriend, and he has been charged with misdemeanor battery in a domestic incident with his girlfriend, okay? So that is not very good stuff. There's still an impending trial, given that Sutton doesn't take a plea deal of some sort. So this is still very much fluid when it comes to Cam Sutton, and I really don't know how this is going to shake out, but coming up here, I'm going to let you know if I would bring back Cam Sutton for the 2024 season, even at the veteran minimum. I'll let you guys know that here in just a couple of seconds. But before we get into that, I want to talk about today's sponsor at Game Time, which is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. Guys, baseball is just getting going, and the best ballpark in America, without question, is PNC Park for the beloved Pittsburgh Pirates. They've had a very hot start to their season to this point. So if you want to go to PNC, enjoy a hot dog, and watch some Pirates baseball, Game Time's going to be perfect for you because they've got the lowest price guarantee on any ticket to any event. Plus, they've got flash deals right before your event begins. And you can get even lower price tickets, all right? So it's absolutely fantastic. And there's a reason why Game Time is the fastest growing ticketing app in the United States of America. And the reason why that is because it is the only ticketing app that completely ensures your peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy them so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Another great feature to their super user-friendly interface on their app. And tickets are also sent directly to your phone instead of your email, which just adds another layer of convenience. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS. That's one word, all caps, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS, one word, all caps, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. When it comes to Cam Sutton, guys, I understand that he was a pretty decent player with the Pittsburgh Steelers fairly recently, but especially with the things that he's being charged of doing, I'm not sure if that sits right with me. Somebody that treats women that way, frankly, I mean, I'm just not sure if you want that to be part of your culture, part of that locker room, all these different things. And there's a reason why guys that are either convicted of this type of stuff just never come back to the National Football League, because it's a bad look for the brand, it's a bad look for the team, and it's really a bad look for the locker room as well. And but at that being said, all right, if we take away all that other outside stuff, it does make sense from a football perspective, because we've seen what Cam Sutton can do in the slot cornerback role here with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it was pretty darn good. You take a look at his Pro Football Focus grades, his last 4 seasons with the black and gold. 2022, he was arguably their number one cornerback that season. 71.6 Pro Football Focus grade, and in 2019, it was his best year in his career at 74.5. And now last year, he definitely had a dip in production with the Detroit Lions. It wasn't really a great fit. It was a 56.0 Pro Football Focus grade, which was the lowest of his career since 2018. So I think when you combine the fact that Cam is coming off a really bad season in Detroit, along with all the outside noise and distraction and all these different things and legal troubles, I just really don't think it makes sense to bring back Cam Sutton. I think you should address that need at slot cornerback elsewhere without having to bring in somebody who's not going to be a felon, but is technically a criminal at this point. So what say you guys? Let me know down there in the comments section. Would you bring back Cam Sutton to be the next slot corner of the Pittsburgh Steelers? Give me a yes or give me a no. Let me know how you're feeling about Sutton down there in the comments section. So now let's finish off today's show with a report from Mark Kaboly from The Athletic, who says that the Steelers do not want to take a center in round 1 of the 2024 NFL Draft and would rather go out and get that center in round 2 or round 3. This is what Kaboly had to say. I've been told that the Steelers don't want to have to take a center in the first round. Now, that changes if everything's gone and that's still the best guy available there, but they'd much rather get their center in the second round or potentially the third round. So we did a video earlier in the month here where we talked about the only 5 center prospects that I would consider taking to be the next center of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You guys are seeing them on your screen right now. These are the 5 guys. And, you know, I really do think that by the end of day 2, okay, so that's at the end of round 3, you have to have taken a center at that point, all right? Whether that's in round 1 with a guy like Jackson Powers-Johnson or Graham Barton, whether that be on day 2 with a guy like Zach Frazier or Cedric Van Pran. I really do think that you got to get somebody at some point within the first 3 rounds to get somebody that's going to be ready to play right away in the National Football League. And given this report from Kaboly, and this is what we've been saying on the channel for a couple of weeks now, right? Offensive tackle is a higher value position. Take your offensive tackle in round 1 and then go get your center on day 2. I think that's the right strategy for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And my best guess is that the 2 guys that are going to be available on day 2 is Zach Frazier from West Virginia, and then Cedric Van Pran out of Georgia. I would probably, if I'd have to bet my life on somebody being the next center of the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'd say it's probably going to be one of these 2 players. Now, that'll be it for today's show, guys. I really do appreciate all of your support. If you want more content from me on social media, you can find me on X at Jack_Sperry. I give you guys daily Steelers updates, channel updates up on there. And then also, I'm a lead NFL draft analyst here at Chat Sports. So if you love NFL draft content, put a bunch of stuff on there on my X, and then also my Instagram at sparedog.football. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now if you haven't already, because we're going to have wall-to-wall Steelers coverage all leading up to the 2024 NFL Draft. So to never miss any of our videos, make sure you click that subscribe button right now.